Hello everyone, welcome to my channel on miniatures. This is Prince the Builder, and today is a follow-up on working with miniatures. My last tutorial I showed you guys and shared with you a technique on how to prime figures, and today I'm gonna show you guys one way that, out of many ways that you could see on other videos, how people paint their figures. I'm going to show you my use of the brush on the figure itself and how I paint a particular size in 72nd scale. So let's get started. I highly recommend you use a magnifying glass or something that could help you out with working with small figures. So I use this guy here. Very handy, very comfortable. You can move around and it will stay put. And let's get right to it, shall we? I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit for you guys so you guys can see my hands as they work, okay? Here we go. Got a good angle. Now, very important, you need tissue, water to rinse out your brush. And I'm currently working on a Western American diorama. So I'm painting figures for that, and today I'm going to be painting a hunter, a guy who just came from the field. And as you can see there, I already started painting the pants. I just basically want to point out that when you work with figures like this, you want to always use a fine brush. Fine brush is very important, very crucial for these figures, and just have fun. You know, as you paint, focus on one particular body part. As I'm doing now, I'm focusing on the legs. And it doesn't matter if you bleed into all the body parts. It's okay, because you're going to clarify those things once you become a little bit familiar with brushing and painting. And also, as you go along, as you progress in painting the figure, you're going to clarify those little details when you're reaching the ending of the figure. So right now I'm just painting, and we're going to clarify those things in a minute. There you go. For this guy, I chose a burnt sienna. It's a nice brown color that could be used for many things. It could be used to simulate leather. Also could be used to just simple brown. And I'm using a brown. Brown was a color that was used a lot in the Wild West. Khaki and all those type of dull colors. And that's what I'm using here. Try to give it a realistic look on this figure. We're getting closer to the end of painting the legs, and then we're going to move on to the top. Normally, when painting a plastic figure, depending on the color, usually water-based colors, requires a second coating. And also depending on the color, like I said, this color in particular is a very rich color, so I may not need to give it a second coating. Just darken and fill in those little cracks and little areas that are missing paint. But this color is very rich and it grasps onto the plastic really well. All the colors like yellow or certain type of shades of blue, white, black may require a second coating. This one doesn't. So choosing the color of your figure is also very crucial. If you are painting a figure according to history and you want to be historically accurate, then you have to follow a certain regimen of, let's say, a uniform of a soldier or a specific color. Other than that, you're free to choose whatever colors you like. This is just all about having fun and enjoying what you're doing. So I could even color this guy's pants purple or pink, as long as I have fun and I choose the colors that I like. So here we are with the pants. Now I'm gonna wash this up. I'm gonna use a nice green here. It's called sage green. Let's paint the shirt. Here you go. Let's start from the front. This guy has suspenders, so what we're gonna do here is just kind of like lightly paint over them, just to catch the entire shirt, just to be able to paint the shirt completely. You might have to sacrifice a little bit of other parts, and it's okay. You're gonna clarify that after you become a little more careful in the progress of the painting the miniature. Here I am filling in. As you can see, I'm using a tweezer to hold the figure by the base. It makes it a lot easier rather than holding it with your fingers, because it's just a pain in the neck to hold it with your fingers, constantly falling off, and it just might mess up your job and throw you off a little bit. So I hold it with this tweezer and just turn it around whenever I need to, and I keep it safely attached and secure with this little thing I have here. Something you could get from your kitchen. Comes with the garbage bags. You use it to tie them up, or just a piece of copper wire. As long as it's something that could hold your tweezer together to tightly grab your figure by the base. So here we are, reaching the end of this part. Now we're going to jump right away into the hat. I normally leave the feet for last because that's the last thing I recommend you paint, since it is prone to being touched mostly, moving it around, taking it by the base. I paint the feet for last, the shoes or the feet, whatever it is. Okay. And I'm just gonna go right along and give it the second coating on the sides that are already dried. This color requires a second coating. Nice green there. Also be careful with painting over wet paint, because it just might peel off the paint and you're not going to have a very successful result. Just like Elmer's glue, like I mentioned in my video on priming figures with glue, if you paint over it and you don't let it dry properly or give it enough time to dry, it would just peel off and ruin your job. So you might want to give it a few seconds or few maybe like not even a minute, 30 seconds or so the paint could sink down. And the good thing about acrylic paints, water-based paints, is that they tend to dry quicker simply because they're made out of water. They're made with water. And that's why I love using water-based paints. Yeah, sure. Right here I overlapped a little bit on the pants, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix that in a minute. Okay, so there we have. Oops. There we have a painted figure. Now we're gonna move on to the other part, the head. For the head, I'm going to use a darker brown and just simply I'll use a tan coffee color for the hat. This looks like the limit to my video, so I am going to put a second part on this video on painting the miniature, and hopefully you guys could pick up and stick around. Okay?